Hello everyone, Parse7 here, back with another video. Now this is some old footage that I just looked through and resurfaced. I completely forgot I did this, but as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, it is Can Tack Shooters Beat Lych? Now I chose Tack Shooters here simply just because this is a time where I discovered that Tack Ice Village is a pretty good Battles 2 strategy. So I figured, hey, why not try that sort of thing out in BTD 6. Also, Tack Zone is frequently used in boss bloons. Tack Zone is used mainly for like tier 1 and tier 2. Past that, it's not really used too often. But Tack is still a pretty good early game option if you don't want to do like Sticky Bomb Mail or something along the lines of that. So, figured why not. I originally wanted to do snipers, but then this is around the time when NK released the 30.0 patch notes, and so I saw there that bottom path snipers was going to get increased MOAB damage, so I figured why not wait till then to make it easier on myself, as again I wasn't really sure how well snipers was going to be able to do it. I figured they probably wouldn't be too bad, seeing as if you go top path it's like seven layers per shot, which is actually pretty good, especially with how fast bottom path fires. So I decided just wait till then just to get the, I think it's like what, +4 MOAB damage Elite Defender has, and I think it's like +3 that full auto rifle has. So I figured might as well wait till then. I also figured that DTs, the chain DTs specifically, might be a bit of an issue, so I have to get like main MOAB and get like a 401, mix of 401, 402, and 420 in order to, I guess, so the main MOABs aren't shooting all at the same time. So moving back to Tack Shooter, what am I gonna do for tier 1? Obviously Tack Zone. Ben was banned for this week of Lych, so that's a bit of a pain. I got Etienne instead, as I figured global camo detection might just be semi-useful. Really there's really no other support hero that I could have used. Thankfully NK is planning to add a new support hero. If you didn't see the 30.0 patch notes, I forget the name, but so that's something that's coming along the lines. So I got Etienne simply just because I figured that global camo detection would be pretty nice. It means I won't have to really spend money on a camo village, so I just got Etienne instead. There really wasn't any other hero I really could have chose that would have been like useful. Etienne was really just kind of the obvious choice here. Now even though I can't use Alchemist, Tack Zone is still fairly decent at beating just boss bloons in general. Obviously you'd want to pair Tack Zone with an Alchemist at just all times, but even without an Alchemist, Tack Zone on its own is still fairly strong. Just with the amount of attacks it shoots out, it's just really an insane MOAB damage option. The other paths aren't really too useful. Inferno Ring is kind of useful for the meteor. Super Mail won't really be used too much here, as again it's really just mainly for the ability, and again the other two paths are strong enough on their own to really just like help out against either just AI bloons or just like boss bloon damage in general. So really it's just really only two paths here, and really only one path that's kind of the star of the show here, being just bottom path. Like I said, I-Ring isn't really too overly amazing. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just not really the best boss bloon damage how the 3 Tack Shooter paths. Although it did get, I guess, a rework, not really a buff this 30.0 update. Basically what they did is it made cross pathing, I guess, more of a choice now. So I think it's like 520, the meteor has +1 pierce, so it goes from 1 to 2, and for 502 the meteor goes from 700 to 1000 damage. So I would have gone 502 for if this was 30.0, simply just because I just need as much damage as possible, but unfortunately this update didn't come out in time, so I'll have to go 520 instead. And if you don't believe me with just how absurdly strong Tack Zone is, even without Alchemist, just look at Tack Zone just absolutely shred Lich's HP. Yes, it's only 14k, but even still, without Alchemist and only just like a village, it's still just impressively strong. So again, Tack Zone can only get stronger from here. So I guess that's something to look forward to. When I saw this, it kind of like gave me hope for tier 5, seeing as I wasn't really too sure if Tack Shooters could beat the 2 million HP that Lych has. I figured maybe I figured you'd probably be a Tack Zone hard carry. So again, it was just pretty strong. So I ended up selling Tack Zone for more farms and just got an overdrive. I placed down Etienne fairly late on round 44, but I didn't really need him too early. Again, he's mainly just there for global camo detection, which becomes, you know, useless late game, as well. Again, I'll be spamming MIBs all over the map. Again, I need MIBs just to hit DTs. I could have spammed Ring of Fire, but you know, Ring of Fire is just terrible. I guess just general mob damage, so that was just a hard no. So for tier 2, I just got Tack Zone and just spammed a few overdrives around on the map. I figured that would probably be more than enough in order to actually beat tier 2. Tack Zone still was gonna hard carry early game Lych, so again, I felt that this was the best option. I could have bought Inferno Ring, but again, Inferno Ring's kind of expensive. I don't really want to spend, like, you know, I think Inferno Ring's like around 50k. And again, I just didn't really spend that much money on tier 2. So I didn't want to spend that much money that early. I guess I got a lot of overdrives, you know, I didn't really need to, seeing as Lich's HP again was just getting drained. Probably mainly just from Tack Zone hard carry again. But regardless, it's still, you know, just fairly easy in the early game. Late game is really what I was mainly worried about. I knew that Tack Shooters could easily beat, you know, tier 1 through 3. Tier 4 might be a bit of a struggle. Tier 5 will definitely be a struggle. But again, I just knew that because of how strong Tack Zone is, I just knew that I was going to just easily just carry early game. Now I understand why NK took away, you know, Tack Zone's lead popping. Believe it or not, in the way old days of BTD6, Tack Zone used to have innate lead popping, which was pretty nice. I never noticed until they took it away. As again, you always want to outbuff Tack Zone, so I assume that Tack Zone could just always hit leads, just due to the fact that Alchemist's AMD had 100% uptime. I found that out to be not true, so I guess it is kind of a shame they took away Tack Zone's lead popping, but again, I do understand it. Well, I'm not really sure why they took away Glaive Lord's lead popping, but good thing they gave it back with the 502 cross path. So for tier 3, I got I-Ring and just started spamming as many overdrives as I can fit in the first bend. I ideally wanted to kill Lych, you know, like in the middle of the first bend. You know, I didn't want to spend more money in order to get Lych to the second bend. So I figured that hopefully Inferno Ring can help out, just because the insane meteor attack. It's really the only reason why I actually got Inferno Ring, is mainly because the meteor. Looking at Inferno Ring stats, the base attack, the fire attack that it has, doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. I looked on the wiki and I think it's only what, like 3 or 4 layers. It does have some mob damage, you know, plus damage, but like just regular balloon damage, it's not too impressive. So I guess I was actually kind of surprised when I saw that, seeing like a tower that costs like 50k and only do like, I think it was what, like 3 or 4 layers per blast. Of course, it does have the insane meteor attack, but even still, just kind of surprising. To be honest, it's actually kind of surprising how many good towers there are that don't do a whole lot of damage. Like Shenstri Champion only does 2 damage per shot, and so even then it's still a really good tier 5, which was actually, again, just surprising kind of just seeing that. Anyways, Lych was getting a bit farther than I thought, so again, I just started spamming more overdrives around the map. The Lych Soul was a bit worrying, as it did get just a little bit farther than I thought. I accidentally get Ring of Fire here, even though I didn't mean to. Hopefully, NK will decide to, I guess, port the graphics and animations from Battles 2 into BTD6. I really do miss those, and they look really nice. Alright, so here comes tier 4. Here starts the overdrive spam that I was doing. At the end, reach level 20. You won't really be doing too much damage, as UCAV isn't, well, UCAV is good. It's not really the best for boss balloon damage in general. I did actually end up trying to do Super Buff Etienne, and I actually did record that. But again, I found that just because of Etienne's like cooldown, I found that I needed like support from like tier 1 through 3 in order to actually make it work, so I decided just to scrap the video entirely. So here again, I was just kind of spamming all over the map, and the chain DTs were actually the hardest part of this. I decided to retry from round 100. I'm not really sure why. I'm guessing it was just to spam a bit more Tack Shooters all over the map. I sold all my farms here because I realized that I didn't really need the farms at this point. I could just fill the map with as many Tack Shooters as possible. I figured that I had the money necessary. I kept my monkey outposts around just in case I didn't have a whole lot of money required. But again, I just started spamming Tack Shooters here. Alright, so this is the maximum amount of overdrives I could have spammed on the map. There was just one more tiny spot As you can see, I did get S-Mail on the back, just to help out again against the chain DTs. S-Mails has innate lead popping, if you didn't know that. That's a thing. I also did get a few just base Tack Shooters in the back that I do plan to upgrade into 0 to 4 overdrivers. Yes, it's the worst crosspath, but I do need the range in order for it to see the track. Wasn't really 100% sure if I did need to go for the middle crosspath, seeing as again mobs have some insanely large hitboxes, not high, large hitboxes, so I figured that, you know, maybe just get 0 to 4, just, I don't know, just in case. As you saw there, the chain DTs did make it, you know, pretty far along the track. That was a bit worrying, as I wasn't really sure how more chain DTs were going to go, because those are going to keep spawning. So seeing how long it was kind of taking in order to beat tier 4, it didn't really give me much hope for tier 5. Seeing as, again, you know, Lych is kind of, you know, kind of halfway through the first loop, and I've only gotten like 2 skulls down. Ideally, I'd want, you know, Lych to go down faster, as again, I wasn't really sure how much DPS I was going to need in order to beat tier 5. But just looking at it right here, I figured, you know, this is not enough DPS in order to actually beat tier 5 of Lych, and you know, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to beat the Lych Soul at this point, as Lych Soul was just going to make it farther and farther along the track, the farther and farther Lych made it along the track. So like, even like the fortified ZOMGs are still taking a little while to pop. I know it's like free play ramping, whatever, but I did figure that, you know, it might be a bit better, seeing as, you know, iRing's meteor attack is targeting the I guess fortified ZOMGs when, you know, Lych isn't, I guess, just when he's not seen, when he's going his invisible little thing. Keep reading what that's called. So anyways, as you can see, Lych is now on the second bend, and this didn't give me much hope, as again, this is only like a little over 500,000 HP, and tier 5 Lych has over 2 million HP. So I saw this and figured that this was definitely not going to be enough damage in order to beat tier 5 of Lych, unfortunately, which is fairly sad. Now Lych is spawning, you know, just regular chain mobs and fortified mobs, which is a bit curious. I figured that Lych would be spawning, you know, fortified DDTs at this point, or it's normal DDTs, but hey, you know, unless he does, you know, it's better it is off for me. I start farming for just kind of whatever reason. I don't really have a reason to farm, seeing as, again, I don't really need to buy anything else. I've absolutely filled the map with all I can, which is Tack Shooters in general. The only thing I can really do at this point is maybe, you know, get 024 Tack Shooters over here, which I do end up doing, just to hopefully just scrape out as much DPS as possible for tier 5. So for tier 5 of Lych, if you look at the DPS, it's not great. It is very, very slow. I use TN's ability here just to, again, get as much DPS as possible, even though at this point it's not really going to do much with the insane free play ramping, number 1. And UCAV isn't really what I'd consider, you know, single target mob damage, like other towers like Tack Zone, for example. So yeah, it wasn't looking bright for me. Even with, you know, iRing's meteor doing like 700 damage per shot, I'm not even sure if it even is attacking Lych, as I can't really tell, as Lych can't really be set on fire, so it was kind of hard to see if the Infernal Ring meteor was attacking. Also, Infernal Ring's meteor does have some extra pierce due to top path village, so again, it made it even harder, as it wasn't expiring as soon as it is attacking Lych. To be honest, this makes me wonder, what would Infernal Ring meteor attack look like if it had infinite pierce? Hopefully that's like a mod or something, or like NK adds some wacky sandbox feature to where you can like just maybe boost towers pierce or attack speed or whatever, because it would be kind of interesting to see what Infernal Ring meteor would look like if it had just infinite pierce. It would be incredibly overpowered, but it would be kind of fun to see. Anyways, Lych is exiting the first loop and hasn't even hit Skull 1. He just now hit Skull 1. And the Super Ceramics are getting pretty far. I guess, you know, ceramic damage I have isn't the best. I guess it just really is Infernal Ring and S-Mail really just hard carrying that. And even then, the Chan mobs again are making it incredibly far past all my defenses, and that free play ramping is just absolutely insane. So again, when I saw this, I figured that, yeah, we're not gonna be able to beat this. Tack Shooters just don't have enough in them late game in order for them to take down the 2 million HP boss that is Lych. So anyways, I'm gonna take this time to tell you talking about the 30.0 patch notes. If you did look at the bottom of the patch notes, NK did say that the next boss balloons can be added is Vortex. Vortex is seeming to be pretty cool, seeing as Vortex does have that stun. I wonder how that's going to be incorporated and what other stuff they're going to add for Vortex. Also wonder what kind of boss he's going to be. It's going to be like a tank like Bloons? Probably not. He's probably going to be similar to Lych, but it is fun to theorize, I guess. Also, NK also said that they the next Paragon is going to be the Engineer Paragon. I'm sure they're going to make a play off of the name Sentry Paragon, or maybe they're just going to straight up call the Engineer Paragon Sentry Paragon. This doesn't really surprise me too much. I figured that the next Paragon was going to be a support category, and I also figured that they're going to do Engineer next, seeing as I wasn't really sure what they're going to do for Spike Factory. Their NK's probably going to have to do a lot to balance that. Also, Village would probably be one of the last Paragons to be added. Same with Farm. I do fully expect Farm Paragon to be the last Paragon to be added, or that, or a Super Monkey. If they do decide to add a Super Monkey Paragon, they probably will. I'm curious to see how like the Super Monkey Paragon would compare to BTSG, or just like True Sun God in general. It'd be kind of fun to compare those two. Anyways, Lych has made it to bend number 3, and we've only got one skull down. So yeah. Unfortunately, Tack Shooters cannot beat Lych solo. Even with villages and everything, top path village and middle path villages still isn't enough to take down Lych. Maybe it can do it with home lane defense and call to arms, but I didn't really get that for this run. Well, I mean I did, but I didn't actually use the ability. So if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, join Discord down in the description down below.